Hey there, have you ever found yourself feeling lonely, even when surrounded by people? It's a common experience, but I'm here to tell you that being alone doesn't have to mean being lonely. In fact, learning to be happy alone is one of the most valuable skills you can develop. You see, when you rely on others for your happiness, you give away your power. You become dependent on external factors, and that's a recipe for disappointment. But when you learn to find joy and contentment within yourself, you become truly free. So, how do you start this journey? Well, the first step is to embrace solitude. Instead of seeing alone time as a punishment, view it as an opportunity. Use it to explore your passions, to learn new things, and to grow as a person. Take up a hobby, read a book, or start a project you've been putting off. When you invest in yourself, you'll find that you have a never-ending source of fulfillment. Another key aspect of being happy alone is learning to love yourself. This means accepting yourself, flaws and all. It means treating yourself with kindness and respect, just as you would a dear friend. When you practice self-love, you'll find that you don't need validation from others to feel worthy. Of course, this doesn't mean you should isolate yourself completely. Humans are social creatures and connection is important. But there's a difference between healthy relationships and dependent ones. When you're happy alone, you can approach relationships from a place of wholeness rather than neediness. You can enjoy the company of others without relying on them for your sense of self. Now, I know this is easier said than done. Learning to be happy alone is a process, and it takes practice. There will be times when loneliness creeps in, and that's okay. Acknowledge those feelings, but don't let them consume you. Remember that they are temporary and that you have the power to shift your perspective. One way to do this is to practice gratitude. When you focus on the good in your life, it's harder to dwell on what's missing. Make a list of things you're thankful for, no matter how small. Maybe it's a cozy bed to sleep in or a delicious meal you enjoyed. By cultivating a sense of appreciation, you'll find that you have more than enough. Another tool is mindfulness. When you're fully present in the moment, you'll find that loneliness loses its grip. Take a walk in nature and really notice the sights, sounds, and smells around you. Practice deep breathing and feel the air moving in and out of your lungs. By anchoring yourself in the present, you'll find a sense of peace and contentment. Of course, being happy alone doesn't mean you'll never feel lonely. Loneliness is a human emotion, and it's one that everyone experiences from time to time. But when you have a strong sense of self and a toolkit of coping strategies, those feelings become much more manageable. So I encourage you to embrace the journey of learning to be happy alone. It won't always be easy, but it will be worth it. You'll discover a strength and resilience within yourself that you never knew you had. You'll find that you are capable of creating your own joy, and that's a powerful thing. Start small. Take yourself on a date and treat yourself with the same care and attention you would give to someone else. Try a new hobby or revisit an old one. Surround yourself with things that bring you comfort and inspiration. And remember, being happy alone doesn't mean being alone forever. It means being content with your own company so that when you do choose to share your life with others, it's from a place of wholeness and love. In a world that often tells us we need others to complete us, learning to be happy alone is a radical act of self-love. It's a declaration that you are enough, just as you are. And when you can find joy and peace within yourself, you'll be amazed at how much more you have to give to the world around you. So, my friends, embrace the journey. Embrace the solitude and the growth that comes with it. Know that you are capable of creating a life that is rich and fulfilling, no matter what your relationship status may be. And above all, remember that you are worthy of love and happiness always. It starts with loving yourself and radiates outward from there. When you can find contentment in your own company, you'll discover a world of possibilities opening up before you. So go forth and cultivate that inner joy. Nurture your passions and treat yourself with kindness. And know that no matter where life takes you, you always have the power to create your own happiness. It won't happen overnight. And that's okay. Growth is a process, and it's one that requires patience and self-compassion. There will be days when it feels like an uphill battle, but I promise you it's one worth fighting. Because when you learn to be happy alone, you free yourself from the constraints of external validation. You become the architect of your own joy. And that's a powerful place to be. So start today. Take one small step towards loving yourself more fully. Maybe it's a kind word spoken to your reflection in the mirror, or a few minutes spent doing something you love. These small acts of self-care add up over time, creating a foundation of inner strength and resilience. And as you continue on this path, you'll find that loneliness loses its sting. You'll come to cherish your alone time as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. You'll find that you can be your own best friend, and that's a bond that can never be broken. Of course, this doesn't mean you'll never need others. We all need connection and support at times. But when you're happy alone, those relationships become a choice rather than a necessity. You can enjoy the company of others without depending on them for your sense of self-worth. And that's a beautiful thing. When you can stand on your own 2 feet, you free yourself to love more deeply, to give more generously, and to live more authentically. You become a beacon of light for others, showing them that it's possible to find joy and contentment within oneself. So, my friends, I invite you to start this journey today, to take one step, however small, towards loving yourself more fully, to embrace the solitude and the growth that comes with it, to know that you are enough just as you are. And as you walk this path, know that you are never truly alone. There is a community of people out there who are on the same journey, cheering you on every step of the way. Reach out when you need support and offer it in return when you can. Together, we can create a world where happiness comes from within and where love and connection are freely given and received. It starts with each of us learning to be happy alone and radiates outward from there. So go forth with courage, with compassion, and with the knowledge that you hold the key to your own happiness. Embrace the journey and trust in the process. And know that no matter what life brings, you have everything you need within yourself to thrive. Learning to be happy alone is not about shutting others out, but rather about inviting yourself in. It's about creating a sacred space within yourself where you can find peace, joy, and acceptance no matter what storms may rage outside. And when you can do that, you become an unstoppable force for good in the world. You become a living example of what's possible when we choose to love ourselves first and let that love overflow into all of our relationships and interactions. So start small, but start today. Take a moment to sit with yourself, to breathe deeply, and to remind yourself of your inherent worth. Treat yourself with the same kindness and compassion you would offer to a dear friend. And as you continue on this path, be patient with yourself. There will be days when it feels like you're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. That's okay. Growth is rarely a linear process, and setbacks are a natural part of the journey. The important thing is to keep going, to keep choosing yourself even when it feels hard. Because every time you do, you strengthen that muscle of self-love and resilience. You remind yourself that you are capable of weathering any storm and of finding joy and purpose in any circumstance. And as you do this work, you'll find that your relationships begin to shift. You'll attract people who love and appreciate you for who you are, rather than for what you can do for them. You'll find that you have more to give because your cup is full from the love you give yourself. This is the magic of learning to be happy alone. It's not about isolation, but about connection. It's about connecting with yourself on a deep level so that you can connect with others from a place of wholeness and authenticity. So keep going, my friends. Keep choosing yourself. Keep embracing the journey. Keep trusting in the process. Know that you are never alone and that the world needs your unique light and love. And most of all, know that happiness is your birthright. It's not something that can be given to you by another person, but something that you create for yourself moment by moment, day by day. So go forth and create your own happiness. Embrace the solitude and the growth that comes with it. And know that you are loved, you are worthy, and you are enough just as you are.